Okay, welcome back. We're going into the second part of the PowerPoint. Selecting a topic continued. All right. So, research question. This is crucial because the research topic provides focus and structure for the remaining steps in the scientific method. Yeah, the whole dissertation is going to come back to your research topic and your research questions. So as you write your dissertation, when you get to that step, the person should be able to look at your results and then walk it backwards to, does it answer your research question? And does your research question address the issues that you expressed in your topic? So the whole dissertation is a functioning piece of paper. It's a functional mechanism, like a motor, with the motor and the transmission and the wheels, for example. It's all connected. So you start with your topic. The topic goes into a research question, and then you go into your methodology and the rest of it, and then your results. You ought to be able to go backwards. The results. Do they talk about, was it done well in the methodology? And does the methodology speak to the research question and the topics? Okay, so that's why we're going to take time to develop each one of these separately as part of your final paper that you're going to be developing little bit by little. Okay. Okay, so the research topic that you ultimately select for your class project is the topic you will work with as we go forward through the course. Remember, you're not writing your dissertation now, although this topic might develop into your dissertation. Please don't overwrite. Be specific to the purpose every week, and we hopefully I can keep your stress level down. Okay, so again, the business people have this in a separate PowerPoint that I sent you guys this morning. So let's look at the educational one. The topic must be sufficiently narrow so that the research questions are answerable. Okay, again, what is the purpose of the world, of life? That's not answerable. Okay, what are the three things that people identify as making them the happy or the happiest? Yeah, that's kind of answerable. You can talk to them and find the three things that emerge when we're talking about happiness. Okay, so what is the best way for my students to learn how to read? Not answerable. Will my students' weekly vocabulary quiz scores improve their scores? That's answerable. Okay, now go back to the first one. What is the best way for my employees to be trained or learn how to read? Some people might say, you know what, that is kind of answerable, but you still have to set up the scaffolding for it to be answerable. Okay, so what's the best way to learn how to operate a machine? You can compare different modalities, right? You can say, I train them in this way, and this way, and I compare them, and at the end, the third modality demonstrate a higher, skill set. That's answerable, but you have to be careful how you set it up. And the second bullet gives you how you measure it by having some kind of a quiz or assessment as you go along. Okay. All right, identifying a topic, look through your experiences and your readings. Okay, in your own experiences as a business person or as an administrator, you can go down and say, I have noticed my colleagues do this, my employees or students seem to have difficulty with this. If I do Z, my students or employees improve, and in my own experience as an administrative manager, I wonder why. Those are all good topics. Okay, for research questions. Okay, identify a topic and research question. Is the study again feasible, doable? Okay, when you sketch it out, that's a good topic, but what are my steps in acquiring those data and then interpreting those data? Okay, are appropriate participants available? We'll discuss that later, because there is a minimum number of participants you have to use, especially if you're using quantitative analysis. Are appropriate instruments available? This for all disciplines. Sometimes you have to create your own, interview questions, survey, And sometimes you're lucky in that there's already one on the shelf, because you have to go through reliability and validity. You have to establish both of those before you can use them, and that's a whole process in and of itself. So if there's something off the shelf that you can use, you know, that would be even better, as long as it addresses your need. Is there sufficient time and resources? Is this within my skill set to get at? Are there any other constraints that might prevent the successful completion of the study? You know, if you're going to go out into the field and have access to, you know, all the Walmarts in the United States, are you going to have access to it? You know, are the district managers going to give you access, or schools, are they going to give you access to it? Okay, and then again, we're going to repeat: is it ethical? Is it feasible? Is it significant? Is it researchable? Can you actually do it? Okay, so this week you'll begin by identifying potential topics for your research design. Furthermore, for this week though, I want to modify that last bullet. I want you to have one topic that you're going to develop and tell me why. And go ahead and add a research question. That I think that's something that's required for the next couple of weeks, or next week, I think. But if you can take your topic and put it into a research question now, that's fine. You'll be ahead of the game. We're going to be talking about this back and forth. So when you hand in something, I'm going to say, your research question might say this, your research question might say that. So everything that you write now for me is a draft. As we go along, I'll have you rewrite certain things, because when you first handed it in, the topic might have been perfect, but now you're handing in a research question saying, wait, that doesn't really connect with the research question, with the topic. Why don't you change the topic? Okay, so don't write a ton, given the fact that I might ask you to rewrite a few things. Okay, so keep it to, for each section that's due, keep it down to a paragraph. You know, certainly no more than a page. Okay, it's a process, and when you get to your dissertation, you have a 100-page dissertation, and your committee is going to have you rewrite significant portions of that. So kind of get used to it. But right now we're going to be doing paragraphs or pages at a time, and I'll keep it low so that it doesn't stress you out. All right. So in terms of minimum and maximum, it's all about functionality and understanding what each section does. Okay. Bye bye.